Don't need to put so far. It's wide angle. Oh, not so. That's fine. Sorry. So what I want to tell you is that whatever your situation is, I want to be able to relate to you. Okay? So I've done big shows, small shows, but the important thing is that as a team, you lead people into worship. Now, most of you being from a small church, what you have? No, you can't reach. Please, I don't need Asaph. Asaph will not be playing. Okay, normally what you have in your church is probably something like this. You want to start a worship ministry and you started a church and maybe at this point you have 10 people and you're leading worship. What you do is you pick up a guitar and you start leading. Light of the world, you step down into dark, and for months it might be just you and the guitar and you're leading the church. That's it. Okay? But as you go along, maybe as you are faithful, God blesses your church. Maybe you have like a keyboardist now, and then you play with your keyboardist, and when you're playing, keyboardist, are you there? Light of the world, and then you have more band members. You have to make room for the keyboardist. To darkness, open my eyes, let me see. Do you all know this song? Cambodians, do you all know this song? Here I am to worship. Here I am to worship. Yeah, okay, you know the song. Okay, and as you're leading, continue to be faithful in the ministry. God continues to bless your church. Maybe it's growing now from 10 people, 20 people with a keyboardist, guitarist. Now maybe it's 40, 50 people. And you found out that one of the church members is taking bass lessons. Are you taking bass lessons? Pretend you are. Show me some bass lessons. Okay. And then now we have a bassist. Here I am to worship. Okay? And your team starts to grow, and what happens is you need to adjust how you play. Okay? Now, you're going to play also? Okay. So what we're going to do is we want to show you what sometimes, because our church is always growing, and because you didn't realize your growth, you continue to play your guitar the same way that you would play when you're just playing alone. So this is how we play guitar in church, right? Yeah. Right? Maybe it's an acoustic guitar, but you're playing like this. But as the band grows, actually, let me tell you, your job can become much easier. You shouldn't be so busy, okay? Let me show you what normally I see when I visit churches, is that they overplay. Guys, are you ready to overplay? Some of these musicians are really good. I'm telling them to do something that is out of the ordinary. They might struggle to do it. But guys, let's pretend now you are a one-man band. It's a drum solo, it's a bass solo, it's a keyboard solo, it's a guitar solo, and it's a guitar solo, and it's a vocal singer solo. Okay? Because when you're leading alone, you gotta do everything. You gotta have the bass, you gotta have the rhythm, you gotta have the melody, light of the world, you have to, here I am, you gotta have that, and you gotta have everything, the rhythm, everything's in. You are everything. You are literally the one-man band. And if you grow from that, tendencies are you might end up sounding like this, a little bit like this. Here I am to worship. All together, all together, wonderful to me. Oh, here I am. Okay? Okay? So some of you are laughing as we doing this, and that is actually the point. But you know what? I didn't turn up their instruments. Let me turn them up. Okay, now you guys are on, including the mics. Okay, there you go. We're using a digital system, so I'm controlling it from my phone. Okay, for those of you who are curious. Oops. I accidentally muted myself, putting the phone down. So, okay, so that's the thing. But when you're a big band, a church band, that's not what you want to do. You're not part of a rock and roll band where you need to have that. I need to showcase all my talents and I'm gonna riff away like maybe what Bruno did here. What were you doing just now? Okay, so he's doing all that while I'm singing the melody and I'm going at it with the rhythm, with all my effects. Okay, and Shavi was like, what were you doing? Okay, she's being very gentle. Okay. Why is the keyboard? Okay, try again. There we go. Okay. What you need to do as you grow as a band is to be a band, to communicate, to work together. And if there's nothing else that you gain from this workshop, learn this, okay? That in a church band, you really don't need much talent. Okay? The only talent you need, it might be to cheat. Okay? Why I say cheat is because of this. Normally, for example, as a guitarist, you got to do all that. You got to play all the notes. But when you have a band, you really sometimes get away with just doing this. It should be in tune. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, what you should do instead is this. So when you come for a practice, you should do this. Okay, guys, we're going to do Heart of Worship. Here I am to worship. And we can decide, for example, okay, this is going to be a keyboard song. So the keyboard takes a leading role in the music. Okay, so let's make it a keyboard song. Let's have a keyboard intro. So right now, everyone else knows that it's a keyboard thing, and we're going to make room for the keyboard to come through. Okay, we're going to start with the first verse. We're going to take it up to chorus, and maybe we go to bridge. Okay, we see how it goes. But there is also a progress. Okay, so I will tell. Okay, maybe the bassist can come in the chorus. Drummer also can come in together with the bassist. And electric guitar, yeah, we're going to come in the chorus. It's going to be quite a fast build-up because we're not going to do the whole thing. But normally, when you lead worship, you want there to be a progression. Okay? You're leading worship, so you should lead them somewhere. Where do you want to lead them? Okay? You must know that as a worship leader. You want to lead them into God's presence. You want to sing about certain themes in your song. So where do you want to bring the church on that particular Sunday? So it must be a journey. And in any journey, you know, like a good movie, there's a plot line, okay? The starting, then the climax of the movie, and then there's kind of a resolution, okay? So we're going to do that. We're going to have a keyboard intro. I'm going to come in at the verse, the rest of you come in the chorus. Okay? You step down into darkness, open my eyes, let me see beauty that made this heart adore you, hope of a life spent with you. Here I am to worship. Altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Alright? So you see that there's a progress, and we make space for one another. I hit, and all I was doing, I didn't even need to hold the chord actually, and that was what I was doing. Okay, of course you can do more than that and be in tune. My guitar's not behaving right now. Okay, and they came in, and we made room for one another. One of the things is that a lot of you are, how many of you are bassists? You play the bass? Bass, yeah, it's okay. You're not going to hell for playing bass. Okay? And many bassists start as guitarists for some reason. Okay? So how many of the bassists started as learning guitar first? No? Straight to bass? Wow, great. Okay, but one. So what happens is bass is a one-note instrument. Okay? And what the bassist needs to do is lock in the rhythm with the drummer. Whatever he was playing just now, play what was your rhythm. So the bassist will go. Okay? And the bassist, as a guitarist, you know, some of you started off as guitarists. Some bassists have a tendency to not be bassists. They're holding a bass guitar, but they're playing way up high. Something like that, okay? Or they're trying to riff away or something. Okay, whatever it is. But bassist is like one of the most important musicians, okay? They are underappreciated, but they're so important, okay? And if you have a good bassist, you just lock in with the drummer's kick and just lay down that one note. Your job as bassist is so important because for me, if I hit the wrong chords, I can get away with it because there are so many notes. Okay? But if you hit the wrong note on the bass, oh, there's no coming back from that. Okay? Okay? So bassist. And the keyboard, you have to understand your instrument. It's a very full-ranging keyboard. Okay? A full-range instrument. It has from the lows, low, you mean low E, all the way up to the high E. Okay? What you need to do is listen to one another. If I'm playing here, so she's playing up high now. Okay? And she can play some riffs there. Okay? So we're making room. I'm not going into her space. She's not coming into my space. And the bassist is further, somewhere else. Okay? But the rhythm must be the same, okay? Don't have one rhythm, two rhythm, three rhythm. Rhythm is the same, that's the glue, but then we stay out of each other's range. So as a band, when you have all that, then I really don't need to do so much. So let's say I'm playing here. Light of the world. Okay, guys, maybe you can try. You step down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see. So listen to where the keyboard is. This heart adore you. Hope of the life set with you. So she's at somewhere else. She's playing lower. She's playing this range now. And then she's not hitting all the bass notes, riding the bass notes. And most of the time, most churches, play all together. If you do this, you're like, the next day you are 100% better. And this is not something that requires you to actually even practice. Okay? A simple thing, but to know your instrument and where you sit in the band will help so much. So the first really important you're still on this slide. Osborne, can we have the next slide? Is to give space to one another. Okay? And for example, if there's a lead part, then the vocals are going to pull back, and then if it was a piano leading part for like a free worship, maybe the next slide, right? You will want to let that instrument come to the fore. So in terms of both frequency, the pitch, as well as the volume. Okay? So that's just, if you just do that, you improve a lot already, okay? That's step one for us. So what I want to do here is, I want to tell you, encourage all of you. Many of you, the workshop was described as for the very talented. Some of you are very talented, and some of you might be more like me. I'm very talented at cheating. So the whole band is playing, and I'm doing this. Okay? And I can get away with it because the rest of my band is playing everything else already. Okay? I don't need to do that much. So you are like me, barely talented, okay, or barely competent. And that's all you need. And on a Sunday, at your church, most of our churches here are 80 people or less. This is all you need to do. This is your space. Know where you are. Or sometimes you get bored of playing your chords here, learn to play different voicing. E. Okay? So that's number one thing, okay? Here's the second thing we want to try to do, okay? There are different types of music. Now, music is very powerful, and I want to demonstrate it, ask Shavi to be prepared. And I want your interaction now. Give me an emotion.
Happy.
Happy? Okay, Shavi, show me happy on the piano. Sounds very relaxing. Okay, kind of an island feel. I got another happy. Check this out. That was yesterday's song, Joy. Okay, that's the best I can do. Another one, please.
Sad.
Sad. Who wants to do sad? Drum wants to do sad. Okay, let's. Hey, Bruno, can you do something sad for us?
Emo a little bit.
Can you feel his sadness? You're smiling? Be more sad! Yeah, okay? Since he's doing that, I want to take the opportunity to tell you that your face should reflect what you're playing. Okay? You know? It's like crucified on that cross. You want to reflect that a bit, you know? If it is a solemn song, don't be like, there you go, that's sad right there. Okay, let's try one more. Anyone? Confused? Because the drummers are always confused, it's so terrible. So terrible. Okay, who wants to try confused? Anybody? Now they're really confused. Okay, the face shows it. Shavi, you want to give it a try?
How confused can one be?
Okay, see, that's what. Anybody here can do confused. You got a musical way to express your confusion.
Yeah, Johnny drums, you're hitting the right half.
Oh.
Chorus, verse.
Is that what you want to go? No? Alright. Anyone want to try? Alright, that was a little bit. Yeah? Huh? Confused? Yeah, that was a little bit. Yeah, sounds a little bit like it. I'm okay with that. Alright? Or even like, for example, you could, let's see if we can push this a bit, okay? Because here, we are all non-pros, okay? We are not professionals. Only Aubrey is the pro, okay? We will try to even do an object. Are you able to do an object? Let's say, Shavi, stairs. I don't like stairs. I tell you what, it sounds like. Maybe you try something chromatic. Sounds a little bit like that. Okay? So, music has certain powers. Especially like when Nico said sad, I don't know why. Okay, maybe he's a really, really good musician. Straight away you know, yup, sad. Make me sad. Still smiling. Some more, one more sad music.
You.
Yo! Okay. And you can feel that. You can feel that. Yeah. And it feels like it's like transitioning to anger now. It's okay, yeah, it's good. And different styles of music work to bring across the message well. Okay, like if you want to do a happy song, you might want to use a certain style of music. You know, maybe you guys got an island song. Yesterday you were messing around with some island. E, okay, A, G. Okay? Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praise. So that you're in my life. So that you can see to us. So when I'm playing that, I can't sing anymore. Okay, the rhythm and the leg thingy going, I couldn't sing anymore. But you can. That makes the song very happy. Do you think we can make that song sad? Okay. So normally sad songs are kind of slower, right? Do you want to try to? Okay, yeah, sure. Major 7. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to my dead to play from the cross to the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Not very sad. You know what we should do? We should sing it in a minor. You think you can transpose it to minor right now? Are we in G minor? You came from heaven to... I can sing in minor. To show the way. Now you're playing the major scale. But if our musicians were to plan it out, which we didn't, we should be able to express that. Okay? And it's not really a sad song, you see. Originally it's a happy song, but you can make it sad-ish. From heaven to earth. Yeah, I can't do it minor note right now. Okay? But what you can do is you can explore different genres of music. For example, if you want to do something that is about like warfare, prayer, warrior kind of thing, you're gonna have to drive in. Something like that, okay? But understand your instrument, know the style of music, execute it, you know, like for example, every time you listen to a Bob Marley song, you feel like you're in the islands, right? You feel like you're by the beach, you can almost smell the sea, the salt in the air, you can feel the sand in your feet. That's the kind of thing that music does to you. When Nico hits the sad chord, immediately you remember your ex-girlfriend. Okay, things like that, okay? And apply it appropriately in your church. Sometimes, some things might not work. Okay, example, you might want to try a rap song in church. Anyone tried that before? No. No? Okay. I tried it! When you get too bored at church, you do stupid things, okay? I didn't try it in a church service, not a regular church service, but we did it once in Davao actually. You remember that? Okay, so there was a guy after first night of the conference came up to me and he told me I'm a rapper. I'm like, okay, I did not ask, but then I said, yeah, okay, send me some of your songs. He says he writes his own songs. Say sure, send it. And he did. He sent it, and I listened to it. Pretty good, pretty good. So what I did was I contacted him, and first night, and then the third night, the final night, I asked him if he would like to join us. I told him what song, I told him the key, I told him the beats per minute, I told him how many bars. We didn't really practice, like 10 minutes, something like that. And we did a song. What song was it? Young and Free. Wait. You wake within me, you're in my heart forever. And then the guy came on, he had a rapper name and all, right? Like all rappers do, proper rappers. They come in with their rapper name, and introduced him. He came up and then he went for it. 16 bars. Talk about it, and there was a Foursquare gospel basically explained in 16 bars. Something like that. And then we came back to the song. So sometimes it could work. Okay, sometimes it might not work. Apply it appropriately to your context, okay? One thing I also want to highlight is this. Sometimes I also notice that musicians, the worship leaders, they don't choose... They coming. Worship leaders in the house, and who are worship leaders here? Worship leaders. Yeah, so why the worship leaders so high one? You should be used to raising your hands in church, right? Worship leaders, okay? And here's the thing. As worship leaders, you need to choose. Earlier on, I said you need to know where you want to bring your church to. It's on a journey. So you are starting off from this point. When people are coming to church, some of you have 6 a.m. service. Okay, that's Living Temple. 6 a.m. It's like, wow, 6 a.m. You can't come in and straight away go like, joy. People are not in that space, People are like, barely there, getting there, I just thank God I'm even here at church at 6 a.m. with my kids, babies and all. And people might not be in the right frame of mind, the right mood just yet. But that's your starting point. And that's where we all start with. And that's why things like this is very easy to do, to be honest. If you're doing it week in, week out in your church, you come to this is very easy because all of you guys came ready to worship. Yep. You guys were ready. I didn't even need to do anything. You just show up. And you guys will worship and you'll be off the hook, Some environments and circumstances will be like that. But sometimes 6 a.m. service, that's not how that might not be how you want to start your service. Okay, so know where you're starting from, where you want to bring them into. Maybe this week something happened in church. Maybe there was a funeral. Maybe this week something happened in your country, in your neighborhood, around your church. Know things like that, okay? Don't be out of touch, okay? Be in touch. And you want to choose the right song to lead them to the right place of worship. Of course, the general answer is this. You want to lead them into Holy of Holies, where God is, into God's presence. But how you get there is important. So, sometimes what I notice is worship leaders choose just one type of song. In the sense that we spent the whole Sunday singing about God. But we never really worship God. We never address God directly. All the songs were like, praise Him, let's lift His name on high, things like that. But we never actually sing songs like, I love you, Lord, things like that. Now here, to help you organize a bit, this was kind of an exercise I did for myself, so that I can know what songs to choose for what occasion, okay? So different types of songs. I have a few categories here. Number one is this. The praise songs and worship songs. Now, most churches will say, oh, praise song is the fast song, worship song is the slow song. Right? Yep. Okay? But I'm not talking about the tempo of the song. What I want to talk about is the level of intimacy. Okay? When you're singing about praise, most of the time it's about Him. He. Okay? And when you're singing a worship song, it changes to you. Okay? So can here are some examples of praise songs, okay? You guys know Hosanna by Paul Baloche?
Yep.
Hosanna, Hosanna. That for me is a praise song. You are the God who saves us. Okay, the Hosanna, praise Him. Maybe the Planet Shakers one. Praise Him, lift your voices, let it ring throughout all the earth. Praise Him. Okay, that's praise song. Worship songs would be like, it's a bit obvious. I worship you. I worship you. Old school, okay? Because we would all know this. Here I am to worship. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy. Heart of worship. These songs are like worship songs. You guys got any examples of worship songs that we sing to God?
When the music fades.
Okay, yeah, that's heart of worship. I just mentioned it. Okay. The title of that song is not When the Music Fades, okay?
I forgot the song.
Any example of a worship song? Guys, any example for a worship song where we address God directly?
The one that we sang earlier.
Which is...
How great are you, Lord?
How great are you, Lord? Okay, that's great. Any examples from the team here? Or a praise song where we address God in the third person? I sing praises to your name, oh Lord. Okay, I would think that's a worship song, yeah. Okay, so think about that. There was one time I was frustrated because the band sang one whole set and we never actually directly worshiped God. It seemed like we were worshiping Him from afar. It's like we were talking to one another, let's worship Him, let's worship Him, let's worship Him. But we didn't actually worship, it felt that way. So take note of this. Second category of song I would list is, this is my own list, but I find it quite exhaustive. I ran it past some people and it's pretty exhaustive. Encouragement and exaltation, okay? The main difference is who we are singing it to. Now when we sing encouragement songs, we're encouraging one another, okay? For example is Our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? How does what are you saying? And then the chorus. Our God is greater, our God is stronger, God you are higher than. We are singing it like to encourage each other. Or how great is our God? How great is our God? Sing with me, encouraging one another to worship, to praise. Because this is important. When we worship in church, it's together. Of course, you can also worship at home alone, and that's different. But when you come together on Sunday, we want to encourage one another also. Okay? You can't do that at home. You don't have other people to encourage you at home. Okay? And exaltation would be like, this is a bit obvious also. I exalt thee, or I stand in awe of you. We exalt God, okay? This is just, any examples from you guys? I want to make you guys think a bit. What is your favorite song? Which category would it fall under in this sense? Is it encouraging one another or exaltation? Where you sing towards God. Any example? Just any random song that's popping into your head. Sorry? Yeah, who said that? I just said that earlier, but yes, that's kind of an exaltation song. I stand in awe of you. So what would you think? Okay. Now, so some of the songs don't fall into this category, maybe. Okay. Maybe the next category, something like that. Okay. But this exercise is to help you think. Why are you singing the song? The lyrics have to mean something. If not, we might as well just be singing Justin Bieber songs on Sunday. Okay. Baby, baby. Okay. Another category, okay. One last one is relationship and commitment. The difference is this. One is, for example, the main difference is this. What God did for us versus what we want to commit to do for God. Okay? So what God did for us would be like, Jesus, lover of my soul. Okay? Come As You Are, the David Crowder song. Not the Nirvana one. Come as you are. No. Come as you are is like, lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken. Okay. Hillsong, for all you done. Hallelujah, for all you done. That's what God did for us, you see. And commitment songs would be songs like, Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul, and then, Lord, I offer my life to you, to the ends of the earth. Jesus, I believe in you, I will go, okay? Send me, I will go, send me, things like that. So these are different categories of songs that you can list, okay? So, if I want to repeat everything just real quick, is that number one thing is make room for one another in your whole band. Number two is learn how to use your instrument and your music, what type of music. And the third one is for worship leaders to choose the right songs. Okay, we have half hour left. So this half hour, like I said, I want us to have a chance to share with one another, question answer. Okay, and you're free to answer as well. Okay, so do you have any questions for me here? Pertaining to what we talked about? Yes, Raiden?
I think it's if you have someone who doesn't have a teachable heart, how are you going to handle them? Like just now you said you play the high tone and she plays the low tone.
So someone in your band refuses to play differently?
Not someone, everyone.
Everyone? Doesn't sound like a band.
Nah, kidding.
That's
Someone,
not
there's one.
Yeah, I think, so okay, what Raynard here is saying is that he feels like his whole worship team, not him, but the rest of his worship team, everyone else, not him, but everyone else. I'm highlighting that to say sometimes we also have to check ourselves. We might be the problem, number one. I'm not saying that you are, but you might be. I don't know, not saying that you are, but you should think about it. Because, first of all, if there's a problem, I want to question myself first, be introspective, you know. Is there something wrong with me first? Okay? If it's not me, and you check your heart, and it's someone else, number one thing I would do is, I would not stop anyone from serving God.
Yes.
I would want people to serve God. And I will need to find a way to get them to know this. And one of the reasons why this is so simple and why people like to ask me to come and do workshops is because I'm not from that church. When I'm not from that church, I get to come, show up, and say things and leave.
Yeah.
You might have said the exact same thing
But they won't listen.
100 weeks before I showed up. I came 1 week, 2 hours, I said it, and it changed. They say, oh yeah, wow, why hasn't anyone told me about this before in my life? All 20 years of it, you know? But sometimes you need to know the right way to get your message across. The message is right, but maybe you are the wrong messenger. Maybe you want to get a pastor to come and talk about it, you know? I'm not saying it from outside, even your pastor to address it. No, maybe you guys should do like this, or sometimes my worship team, we have a Facebook group and we share videos. So instead of me saying it, I could get
Let the video say.
Don Moen to say it on my behalf. It's like, wow, this blew my mind. But actually, you've been saying it for 1 year already lah. You know, find ways to get the message across. It does not have to be you that was right. Because your goal is to get the band there. So let's find another way. If they are not listening to me for whatever reason, maybe I have a face problem, then use Facebook. Yeah. I think, how many of you all can relate to the situation here where you feel like you have musicians who are not teachable? Okay. Not many, only one. Wow. Okay, that's good, that's good. So everyone's really quite teachable here. Great. Okay. So any other questions? You can also ask the musicians, oh, how do you practice your drums? Things like that.
Talk about the difference between showing up on Sunday to practice versus showing up on Sunday to rehearse.
what is the setup? Do you guys practice, rehearse on, or what's going on? What's the setup in where you are?
I find it's hard to communicate to maybe growing members